Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Noise and welcome back to Stoneblock 2. In the last episode, we were working on a variety of things, just kind of cleaning up the base and, did we do the power thing last time? I don't remember. I've done a little bit of work. I cleaned out this room, a little bit different shape than the other one. I've done a little bit of work, making this guy automatic, just with some conduits and all that kind of fun stuff. Nothing too major. However, before we get into today's episode, I wanted to talk real quick about something that might affect this mod pack later on down the line, or randomly, because, yeah, a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. I had some issues. So, one day I was logging on when I was still a lot more sick than I currently am. I'm still a little sick, FYI. It's why my voice is a little bit raspy. But I logged on just to kind of mess with the cows, which I've got to talk about those in a second, and all that kind of fun stuff. And I noticed that there was some problems. Specifically, this item, Balanced Clay, was not in the game. So for whatever reason, there is a mod that basically lets the mod pack creator write a whole bunch of scripts to do different things. Long story short, that mod was broken, which not only removed balance clay, which is going to be super important later, but also things like the fluid cows, so the water. So the way you're supposed to get them in this mod pack is with this recipe. The recipe was missing. So basically Craft Tweaker, which is the mod, all the scripts for that, just, they were there, but they weren't working, and I have no idea why. I tried a bunch of things, and then just like a week later or something like that, I tried to load up the mod pack again, and I got some other errors, but everything else was working, and it seems to be working just fine. So I still have, this is a duplicated, like, copy of the mod pack, so I still have everything else from the other one. But here's the thing. I do not update mod packs once I start recording episodes for them. And this one in particular doesn't even update on the launcher I use, the Curse, Overwolf, whatever. The launcher that I use doesn't have this updated. Feed the Beast, which is kind of the sponsor, or I guess distributor of this mod pack, have their own launcher, and all the updates for this mod pack are over on that one. And I just don't use that one. It's easier just to not have 20 million different launchers on my computer. So long story short, there's no way that this updated. I have no idea why it broke. And then I have no idea why it fixed most of its problems. And like the things that broke afterwards was like recipes for tiny progressions, I think. And so one of the things I saw was there was a steel block from a mod that was broken, but there's already a steel block in this mod. It's the thermal expansion. So like one of the steel blocks broke, but this one is fine. So I have no idea what's going on with this mod pack, but just kind of a heads up. I know that was probably a little bit more explanation than I needed to give, but a heads up that if this breaks, I will try my best, but I don't know what's going on. Anyways, I have been very busy with the cows, to the point that there are only 5 cows left that I need, including the amazing Molten Infinity cow, which gives you Molten Infinity and Infinity ingots. However, I've decided to stop for a little bit because, well, let's look at some of these cows. So, Dark Steel is a 30% breeding chance. Molten Steel, 30% chance to get Dark Steel and Resonant Ender. 30% chance for most of these. But the ones I have left is Vivid Alloy, which is a 4% chance. What is this? Stellar Alloy, which is a 2%. Evil Infused, which is 2%. Liquid Death, the 3%. And a 1% breed chance. I'm gonna have so many cows, and I don't feel like doing that. So, yeah, very low chances, where everything else was like 30% chance. So, 30% chance that I'd get one of the new cows, and like a 50-50 on the other percentage, the 70%. So like, I guess technically 35% chance I get one parent and 35% chance I get the other. But like 1% chance, that's gonna take a while. So I've decided to step away from that. And today, what we're gonna do is we are going to automate the production of shulkers so that we can kill them and get their shells. Now something else I've been kind of keeping an eye on is this thing. So I've had to turn this guy off because this is filling up, and I've added more things to our filter, which unless we want to get more filters attached to this trash can, we need to make a big filter, and that's where we need the shulker shells. So that is what we're going to work on today. I also want to grab, I have some legendary loot crates which can give us some really cool stuff, as well as a bunch of other ones, and we're just going to grab a good bit of these and go open them, because why not? Now obviously some of this will probably not fit in here, but we'll start getting some cool stuff, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I guess let's just leave it like that. We're gonna get a lot of just weird things, but hopefully we get some good stuff and this doesn't get too overfull. Okay, so I will probably grab more of this stuff later. Let's just I would probably just use that whenever I feel like it, and then clean out the chest once I'm ready. But at some point we do need to get a lot of that kind of stuff more automated, just because it's a lot of really cool stuff that we can get. Did we get anything super good? Obviously the Signalum upgrade is pretty cool. Golden apples, item barrel connections. I don't know what half this stuff is. Diamond boots is always nice, because that means, you know, anything diamond is always good, just because that means we can break it down into actual diamonds that we can use. So yeah, anyways, what we're going to do today is we're going to try to automate shulkers, and to do that we need to make the mob duplicator from industrial foregoing, and we're going to get into industrial foregoing in general. So let's see, we're going to need two machine frames. We'll get to those later. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need is a tree fluid extractor. Now this thing requires an iron gear, which requires a stone gear. Nothing too difficult there. We have a good bit of resources, so I'm not too worried. But the tree fluid extractor, now these are not quests. Also, I do have a lot of quests to complete. I got a few new chickens that it wants us to get anyways. Is there any others? Not currently. I'll need to get more chickens and all that kind of stuff. I will kind of worry about chickens later. I haven't been doing too much work with the chickens, but I have a bunch of cow quests. So let's just go ahead and get some of these rewards. Quite literally, I have everything except for the really hard ones to get. Ooh, resonant conversion kits. That's really nice. Mechanical crafters, another conversion kit that's always good to see. Chance cubes, don't care about those. So yeah, we just have a bunch of quests to complete. This did not take that long. I AFK'd a lot, but that was mostly to just get the baby cows to grow up. But that is all of the stuff. So things that we got that was cool. Powered anvil is kind of neat. Ender chest. A lot of this stuff is pretty cool. Water candles. More water mills. But the conversion kits are probably the neatest, because they will convert our let's see, what do we have? We have, for example, this redstone furnace. We can convert him all the way to resonant, and just with a single click. So that is really cool, super useful, super powerful, and amazing. So that is neat. And this one would give us reinforce, which is not too bad, but could be better. Otherwise, meh. Most of the stuff I don't really care too much about. Food is nice, but we have the tree fluid extractor. That is the first thing we're going to need. Now, what this does is it lets us take things like wood. And we can, I don't actually know, does it require, it does not require power. So let's just set it down and we can go ahead and, you know what, we have power here. Let's just do this here. We'll set up a system for this stuff in our machine area later. But obviously I'm not quite ready for that. So we'll just go ahead and set up something simple here. So we're going to just put this guy here. It faces the way I face. This guy here. And can we get like a block placer? Do we have a block placer? Let's see. Ooh, I didn't know that we had that. Imaginary time block. That is really powerful. We don't have a block placer, but we could make one. Or we could just not worry about it and just manually. So if we put logs in front of it, it will slowly gather latex from this and even more slowly, break the oak wood. But the latex, there it goes. But the latex is what's important, and we need to process that latex into rubber. And the way we do that, which by the way, is there a, I'm curious, there's a rubber chicken, which I don't think I have. So in order to do this, we need to make a latex processing unit. Now, all these recipes are kind of the same, with one exception, one major exception anyways, the center block. So industrial foregoing does not have its own like machine frame or steel casing or whatever. It uses any other mods, and so we have our choice. Now I don't want to go with the steel casing because that requires steel. That's annoying to make. Machine frame is not too bad, but the machine case is pretty good. It just requires a little bit of redstone, but I think this is going to be the best way. So we're going to need 2 of these because we're going to need one for the mob duplicator as well. And we should be able to make the latex processing unit. So this guy does require power. So we'll just hook them up right here. And we're also going to need water. Can I get another sink? Can I make sinks in this mod pack? It's been a while. I can. Can we just make a sink? We just need some clay, which there is a really cool way to get clay. I have these clay loot crates, and I can just, you know, throw them in here and get a ton of clay. And then I can cook up the clay and make this. So we need 5 of these. That was a little bit quicker than I expected, to be perfectly honest. And then just a water bucket. I guess we'll take some water from in here. Why not? And there's the sink. Now we get to keep our bucket, which is nice. And I'm just going to put the sink right here for now. And we're going to fill this up with water. So in order to make 1 rubber, we need a bucket of water and 75 millibuckets of latex. Now, we're going to need, for a single piece of plastic, which we need 4, 5, 6, a piece of dry rubber, which we can't get from the chickens. Okay, let's, real quick, I don't think I have the rubber chickens, but if I do, this would save me time. I do not. Do I have the capability of making rubber chickens? Log and orange. I do. Okay, so that might be something I do relatively soon. But we'll go ahead and do it this way. I'll probably do a lot of this off camera, but like, it's whatever. So we're going to need 4, 5, 6 of these dry rubbers. And that requires 9 more tiny dry rubbers, so we need 54. That is a lot. So let's just get you know what? Let's just make this smart. Put that there. Conduit. Extract always active. Insert. It is full of water. And this has almost a bucket of latex. But I could also just do this. Extract always active. Insert. And it is just going to automatically make the rubber. So let's actually go ahead and make that block placer. And this is stuff that we'll probably want to do later anyways. Doesn't actually Additions have a block placer? Phantom breaker. Yeah, phantom placer. What is it called? Auto placer. So we just need a basic coil. So we need some black quartz. Just get a stack of that. We're going to need to go laser some redstone. And that should be it. And the thing is we can do this and then not worry about it, because later, once we set things up in the machine room, we'll want this stuff anyways. So black quartz. Let's get the auto placer. And it's honestly not that expensive. It's just cobblestone, a palace crystal, which is just lapis, and what you saw I just made. So we just put this here. Is it? Okay, it's the direction you're sort of facing. So deactivation, so we need to grab a redstone torch, because that is how you change the modes for these. We right click, and actually deactivation is exactly what we want. We'll put a stack of things in there. And something we can do to speed things up a little bit is we have our time in the bottle. I believe if we just click this, yeah, it's taking out a lot more of latex, and I just want to make sure that this works, because we could just leave this setting and come back once it's done. And in fact, it does work just fine. So awesome. We have automatic rubber production. Now we have 30. Let's wait for 6 more, because that'll give us 4, and then we can get into some other stuff. So there we go. 36 dry rubber. We go ahead and put those in there. We'll get the dry rubber, which we can smelt into plastic. And plastic is what we're actually after. Now, in order to use the mob duplicator, we need to capture a mob using the mob imprisonment tool, which requires a gas tier. Nothing too difficult there. But we also need to actually imprison a mob, which is why I have the floating doll, which water. Okay, cool. So that will spawn a shulker. Now there's one more thing that we're going to need, and I forgot about it. And I gotta remember industrial foregoing. I've got to remember what it's called. Is this what we want? Okay, so let's just go the other direction. All right, where'd it go? I think it went right here. And we've captured it. So we now have a shulker and a mob imprisonment tool. And we have some shulker pearls from capturing it, I guess. But now we just need to get the mob duplicator, which we're going to need, actually not that much more. Let's just time in a bottle this again. 16, 17, and 18. Perfect. That is all we need. So we can get 2 more plastic. And then we can make this guy, the mob duplicator. So what all do we need? We need the magma creams, which is not too difficult. And then we should be able to use our simple machine chassis and get the mob duplicator. Perfect. Now, the mob duplicator is an interesting block. I guess we can put it down for the time being. We're just going to put it in here. Or do I want to just, you know what, let's just put it right here. Why not? So this works kind of like a mob spawner. However, it requires essence. I can also turn it off, which is really nice. And we throw in the mob to be duplicated in here. Show working area. So it's just going to have a small area. Let's do active on redstone signal. And let's get a lever. Just so that we can turn it off and all that kind of fun stuff. But before we can actually do anything with this, we need to get mob essence, or aka just essence. And essence, typically, you get it from... why is it not like showing it? Typically, you can get it from a thing called... where is it? The mob crusher. So the mob crusher will give you essence. It kills hostile mobs. It acts a lot like this guy, but it takes the experience and turns it into essence. Now, the bad thing about that is, one, the mob crusher requires power, so we'd have to power it, whereas this is free. Much better, and plus the enchants and all that kind of stuff. But the mob crusher is actually good for some other things. If we wanted to set up a mob duplicator, we could set up a mob crusher with it, and it would work just fine. So it would just automatically spawn things in, automatically kill them, and then give us our the drops. However, we still need to get essence, and the mob crusher is not really worth it to me. So the other way we can get essence is, I guess that was where it says mob crusher. The other way to get essence is from this fluid dictionary conversion, fluid dictionary converter. So this is what we're gonna use. So let's add that real quick. We're gonna need a little bit more plastic, which we have a ton of. I'm just honestly gonna let that run for a little bit. I'm gonna let it probably run through this stack of, you know what? Let's just make it half a stack. And just let it go from there. So we can get some more plastic, and we just need to get another simple machine chassis and an iron gear. Not too difficult. So I don't know how this thing works, but I do know that we can make essence fairly easily. So does this require power? It does not. So what we can do is we have liquid XP. We can put this right here, and we're going to configure it to push the liquid XP in here, and I want to turn it into essence of knowledge. I guess it's going to turn it into essence of knowledge for right now. We'll do a little bit of that, but the cool thing is I have 65,000 solidified experience. So we don't have to worry about experience ever. And basically we just throw this in here, and we got a bucket of the mob stuff. Let's get another. Do I have a drum? Tank. Okay, let's get a fluid tank from Ender.io, because these are really nice and they're relatively cheap. And we can tell this to pull, and we'll get the essence of knowledge, which I don't really care about. I want to say we'll just put that away. And let's grab another bucket. I have plenty of buckets and I can always make more. But we should be able to turn this into mob essence and then always active. And this is just going to create a ton of essence super quickly. And I can always add more. I mean, I could grab a hopper and do something like this and just not worry about mob essence anymore because we have a lot of it. So with this, we can put this in here. I want to make sure this is active on redstone signal. We can add a little bit of mob essence in here. And let's go ahead and spawn. I need to get at least 2. And it's going to take it a little bit of time to spawn things, but let's go ahead and get a few of these guys because I need their shells. And I don't think there's that many that spawn, which is good. But bad thing is I'm floating away. Alright, so once I can come down from my situation, please, there we go. And he teleported. Where did he teleport to? Anyways, I have some shells, and I have enough to do what I needed to do, which is good, because it means I can do what I needed to do. There's a lot of these guys. There are ways to prevent these guys from teleporting, but can I go around? Ow. Because I don't think I'm going to have much luck falling to the ground. There we go. Okay. So I think that's all of them. But I have some shulker shells. And I can get as many shulker shells as I need whenever I need them. So that is good. Can I do... Whoops. Can I do that? Will that actually work? It does. That should be filling up. Can I tick accelerate that? I can. Cool. I just want to get this stuff out of my inventory. Alright, that is completely full. Alright. So, we have the shulker shells. Now, what I can do is go ahead and make... So let's first of all turn that off. Extract never active. That works. Now, the question I have is if I take this advanced item filter and I do this, does it retain its stuff? Whitelist, it does not. So I'll have to get everything back, but we can put some of the stuff in already. For example, chain armor. And hopefully I remember the settings that I need. So it needs to ignore NBT and ignore metadata. Ignore damage, cool. And it's a whitelist. So we'll just do, sword. Can I just put them anywhere, or will it... Okay, that's fine. But then we can just turn this back onto insert, and we should see only the chainmail stuff disappearing. So, perfect. That's exactly what I want to see. Now, I do have a question with this. We only have 8. Is there a good way to get these? Epics? Okay. Did I get any from the epics? We'll see. Let's... Advanced item filters. Don't think I did. So, I will tell you guys what. At this point, I've made a mess. I'm going to need to clean things up. And I'm going to try to start working on this room a little bit more. And I think one of the first things is I'm going to move this thing into here. This is going to be my power room. I'm just going to move it back in the corner and go from there. So basically, I need to do some work with building and whatnot. I think maybe we'll have an industrial foregoing area right here, because I don't think we're going to make too many machines that aren't like practical use like the mob duplicator is. There's not too many like tree fluid and latex processors that we're going to need. And we can hook that stuff up pretty easily. So I will try to start working on that between this episode and next. And I think next time, I think we just work on more machine stuff, I guess. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But anyways, that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This thing is really powerful. There used to be a way, and I don't know if there still is. Let me see if there's like upgrades. Industrial. So there is a bunch of upgrades. But I don't know. I mean, there's range upgrades. There used to be a way that you could make these identical, but I don't think there is anymore. But that's okay. So, yeah, we'll just deal with whatever we have. I'm gonna take that out, and yeah, basically at this point we can make as many shulkers as we want. If we make a nice little room, we can spawn them in and murder them with a mob crusher and be done with things. So I'm going to work on getting these filters set up and make sure everything is working well there. And then next time we'll do something. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!